Hi, students. It's me, Ms. Miles. Thanks for stopping by the Miles Ahead classroom. Today's lesson is out of this world. We're going to learn all about astronauts by answering WH questions. This lesson is made for curious minds who dream big, love space, and want to know all about the awesome job of astronauts, the brave explorers who travel beyond Earth. So grab your space helmet or just your thinking cap, and let's blast off into today's lesson. Who is an astronaut? Who is an astronaut? An astronaut is a person who gets special training to go to space. That means way up high above the Earth, where there is no air and no gravity. Astronauts can be men or women. They work very hard to learn how to stay safe, fix things, and do science in space. Most astronauts work for a space program, like NASA. NASA is a group of people in the United States who study space and send astronauts on space missions. Astronauts wear spacesuits, ride in rockets, and live in space stations. They are like space explorers who help us learn more about the moon, stars, planets, and Earth. What does an astronaut do? Astronauts have important jobs when they go to space. They don't just ride in a rocket. They have to work, learn, and stay safe while they are up there. Here are some of the things astronauts do. Fly the spacecraft. Astronauts help control the rocket or space station so it goes where it needs to go. Do science experiments? In space, astronauts do cool science tests to learn about things like plants, water, how the body moves without gravity, and more. Fix machines. If something breaks in the space station, the astronauts have to fix it so everyone stays safe and things work right. Live in space. Astronauts sleep, eat, brush their teeth, and do everything in space just like we do on Earth. But it's a little different without gravity. Look at Earth and space. Astronauts take pictures and watch what's happening from space. They help us learn more about our planet and the stars. Astronauts work together as a team, and they always follow rules to keep themselves and their friends safe. Where do astronauts work? Astronauts have two main places where they do their jobs: on Earth and in space. On Earth, when astronauts are not flying in space, they work at a place called a training center. One famous center is called NASA. At NASA, astronauts practice how to fly a rocket, float in space, and stay safe. They use special machines and even water tanks to learn what it feels like to move without gravity. They also go to school, take tests, and work with a team to get ready for their space mission. This part of their job is very important and takes a long time. In space, when it's time for a mission, astronauts travel into space in a spacecraft, a special rocket or shuttle. They often go to a space station, which is like a science lab floating in space. One big space station is called the International Space Station, or ISS. While in space, astronauts live and sleep in the space station, eat and exercise, do science experiments, fix things that break, talk to people back on Earth. So, astronauts work in two amazing places, right here on Earth and high above in outer space. When do astronauts go to space? Astronauts don't just jump in a rocket and go to space right away. They go to space only when they are ready and when there is a special mission planned. First, they train for many years. Astronauts need to learn a lot before they can go to space. They practice how to live without gravity, how to fix things in space, how to stay safe in their spacesuits, how to work with their team. Training takes a long time because going to space is a big job. Then, they wait for a mission. Astronauts go to space only when there is a mission. A mission is a special trip with a goal. Some missions are to explore planets or space, fix things on the space station, do science experiments, take pictures of Earth and space. Astronauts go to space after a lot of training and only when there's a special mission planned. They don't go to space every day, just when everything is prepared and it's the right time to go. Why do we need astronauts? Astronauts are important because they help us learn more about space and even about Earth. Astronauts are space explorers. They go up into space to find out what it's like far away from Earth. They take pictures, do science experiments, and bring back information we can't get any other way. They help us understand space. Space is huge and full of things we are still learning about, like the moon, stars, other planets, and even how gravity works. Astronauts help us discover new things we didn't know before. They do science that helps everyone. Astronauts test how things work in space, like food, water, and even how our bodies move without gravity. What they learn in space can help doctors, scientists, and even farmers on Earth. They help us prepare for the future. One day, people might live or travel to the moon or Mars. Astronauts are helping us figure out how to live safely in space. That way, in the future, more people might be able to go too. They also help us take better care of Earth. From space, astronauts can see things like weather patterns, pollution, and changes on the planet. This helps us know how to protect our planet and keep it healthy. Therefore, we need astronauts because they help us learn, explore, and take care of Earth and space. They are real-life heroes who help make the world a better place. How do astronauts get to space? Getting to space is a big adventure. Astronauts can't just drive a car or take an airplane. They need a special kind of vehicle called a rocket. Step 1. Ride in a rocket. Astronauts get inside a space rocket, which is a giant machine that goes super fast and straight up into the sky. When it's time to go, the rocket blasts off with a loud roar and lots of fire and smoke. It lifts the astronauts high above the clouds and all the way into space. Step 2. Travel to the space station. The rocket takes the astronauts to a place called the space station, kind of like a house or science lab floating in space. One big one is called the International Space Station, or ISS. They stay there for days, weeks, or even months, doing work and experiments. Step 3. Wear spacesuits. When astronauts leave the rocket or space station, they wear spacesuits. Spacesuits help keep them safe from the cold and heat, able to breathe. There's no air in space. Protected from flying space dust. They also work as a team to help each other stay safe and do their jobs. Astronauts get to space by riding a powerful rocket, living in a space station, and wearing special suits to protect them. It's a big job and a big adventure. Now that we've learned all about astronauts, let's do a quick matching activity together. Are you ready? Let's jump in and get started. We are labeling an astronaut. Helmet. An astronaut's helmet is super important. It keeps them safe in space. Here's why specifically. There's no air to breathe in space like we have on Earth. The helmet gives the astronaut fresh air so they can breathe. Space can be really, really hot or super cold. The helmet helps protect the astronaut from those extreme temperatures. The helmet has a special shield to protect astronauts' eyes from the bright sunlight and keep tiny space dust from hurting them. There's a microphone and speakers inside the helmet so astronauts can talk to their team. Next is control module. The control module is a special box on the front of an astronaut's spacesuit. It's kind of like the remote control for their suit. It's so important because it helps the astronaut breathe by controlling the oxygen inside the suit. The module makes sure the astronaut isn't too hot or cold. It helps keep their body at just the right temperature. It helps turn on an astronaut's radio so they can talk to other astronauts or people on Earth. Also, if something's wrong, like low air or battery, the control module shows a warning so the astronaut can fix it fast. Overall, you can think of it as the control center for astronauts' spacesuit, helping keep them safe and comfortable while they work in space. Boots. Astronauts don't wear just any boots. They wear special space boots that help them in space and on the moon. Space boots have special bottoms that help astronauts grip the ground so they don't float or slip around, especially when walking on the moon or space station. Some astronaut boots have magnets or Velcro to help them stay in place in the space station where there's no gravity. Space can be super cold or super hot. The boots protect the astronauts' feet from dangerous temperatures. The boots connect to the rest of the spacesuit to make sure the astronaut is fully covered and safe. Spacesuit. A spacesuit is like a supersuit that astronauts wear when they go into space. There's no air in space, so the spacesuit gives the astronaut fresh oxygen to breathe. Space can be really, really hot or freezing cold. The suit helps keep their body at the right temperature. The suit protects astronauts from things like space dust, bright sunlight, and even tiny pieces of rock flying around. There's a radio inside the helmet, so astronauts can talk to each other and to people on Earth. Their space boots help them walk without slipping and stay steady when there's no gravity. On the front of the suit, there's a control module, like a remote, that helps astronauts check their air, temperature, and radio. An astronaut's spacesuit is like a mini spaceship they wear on their bodies. It lets them walk, work, and stay safe while floating out in space. Gloves. Astronaut gloves are special gloves that are part of their spacesuit. They are not like the gloves we wear in winter. They do way more. Space is very cold and full of sharp dust and strong sunlight. The gloves protect their hands from getting hurt. Even though the gloves are big and thick, they are made so astronauts can still hold tools, press buttons, and do work while in space. The gloves are sealed tight to the suit so no air leaks out. This helps astronauts breathe and stay safe in space. Space can be boiling hot or freezing cold. The gloves help keep their hands at the right temperature. Space Shuttle. Lastly, we have Space Shuttle. A space shuttle is a big, powerful space vehicle that astronauts ride in to travel to space and back to Earth. It's kind of like a giant flying rocket bus. Here's what a space shuttle does. It takes off like a rocket. The shuttle blasts off from the ground with lots of fire and smoke to carry astronauts into space. It flies in space. Once it's in space, the shuttle floats and flies around Earth. Astronauts can do science, fix satellites, or visit the space station from inside the shuttle. It works like a space home. Inside the shuttle, there's a place to sit, sleep, eat, and work, just like a small home or lab in space. And it comes back to Earth. When the mission is over, the space shuttle flies back to Earth and lands like an airplane on a runway. Awesome job, students! You did such a great job learning and working through this activity with me. Thanks for stopping by the Miles Ahead classroom today. And remember, because you came by, you're already miles ahead. Until next time, keep reaching for the stars. Bye, students.